Marquat wins this fight, it definitely puts him in line for a title shot. For Sonnen, it catapults him to the top of the division.
Nate Marquat wants to be the next champion.
I want a rematch with Anderson. I really feel like I could have beat him on that day. I just didn't.
I'm here to be number one. I think I am number one. I've got the courage to go find out if that statement's true.
My toughest opponent could be myself.
That's not an insult to me. He can feel how he wants. I'm going to be on him from bell to bell.
He's well-rounded, but everything that he does, I do better.
His last fight, total complete destruction of Damian Maia. That was basically, in a lot of people's eyes, solidifying his position at the very top of the 185-pound contenders. The sky's the limit for that guy.
It's going to come down to who's tougher. Whoever's tougher is going to win this fight, and I know he admires my toughness. I will find a way to win this fight.
Chael Sonnen has finally put it all together, and we're finally getting a chance to see him at his full potential.
Born and raised in Oregon, now fighting out of West Lynn, Matt Lindland in his corner, Team Quest, Chael Sonnen, very decorated wrestler, and I'll tell you what, very confident and very vocal coming into this fight tonight.
Very vocal, one of the best interviews in all of mixed martial arts. He's pretty funny. He said that he believes that Anderson Silva would be run out of his neighborhood for wearing pink shirts. He's a hilarious dude, very intelligent man, and a very talented wrestler, world-class grappler, and he pushes a tremendous pace in the octagon. We saw that in his last fight with Yushin Okami. Yushin Okami, widely believed to be at the top of the heap in the 185-pound division, and Chael really dominated him.
In addition to his great grappling skills, Joe, Chael Sonnen has a tremendous chin. He's never been knocked out in his entire 34-fight career, never even been knocked down in his 10 fights in the UFC and the WEC.
Yeah, his number one problem that he's had in the past against submission artists was submitted by Jeremy Horn, was submitted by the guy beating the WEC.
Paulo Filo.
Paulo Filo, yeah, I forgot for whatever reason. Paulo Filo was the WEC champion with a rematch, and unfortunately, he didn't make weight. So Chael Sonnen didn't get that belt. In my opinion, he's the uncrowned middleweight champion of the WEC. Had some good fights in the UFC and some not good fights, but the last two fights, the Dan Miller fight and of course the Yushin Okami fight, really showed what Chael Sonnen's full potential is. When you get such a dominant wrestler who's in such tremendous shape, who has an intelligent game plan and sticks with it, that's a tough thing to handle. He's not as well-rounded as Nate Marquat, but what he does best, he does very, very well. His wrestling is outstanding. He pushes a great pace, and he's got real crisp technical striking.
Funny you say that. He said, I'm going to beat Nate Marquat tonight. I'm just not sure how I'm going to do it. The great Marquat, 8 and 2 in his UFC career, and coming off impressive TKO and knockout finishes of Martin Kampmann, Wilson Gouveia, and Damian Maia.
You know, this guy is one of the most well-rounded fighters in all of mixed martial arts. Just really excellent at everything. And even though he's only 30 years old, he's an 11-year veteran of mixed martial arts fighting professionally. He won the King of Pancrase 7 times. He's just one of the best fighters in all of the divisions. He's got knockout power. He's submitted tough guys like Jeremy Horn, knocked out Damian Maia in his last performance. So much experience, so much talent, so much potential, and still, like we said, only 30 years old.
He has worked extensively with George St. Pierre. Nate the Great Marquardt, though, has just gotten better, and he's gotten better every day since the title fight against Anderson Silva.
Well, he does everything right. He's with the best camp. He's got great training partners. He works very hard, lives clean, eats right, does everything he needs to do. The big question this fight, can he deal with the world-class wrestling of Chael Sonnen? Can he deal with the pressure that Chael's going to put on him, the pace that Chael's going to put on him? Can Chael deal with the knockout power? Can Chael deal with the submissions? Those are the questions.
Fifth best takedown defense in the UFC right now. That will play a very important role in tonight's fight for Nate Marquardt as he takes on the wrestler Chael Sonnen. Our tale of the tape for this middleweight fight. Nate the Great is 30. Chael Sonnen is 32. Everything else is virtually identical. With the official introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a Valley Judo fighter holding a professional record of 25 wins, 10 losses, and 1 draw. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of West Lynn, Oregon, Chael Sonnen! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 32 wins, 8 losses, 2 draws, standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 186 pounds, fighting out of Denver, Colorado, Nate the Great Marquardt! And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Josh Rosenthal.
All right, gentlemen, we've gone over the rules. I expect a clean fight. Obey my commands at all times, defend yourselves at all times. Touch gloves, go back, let's do this.
Josh Rosenthal, our referee. Nate the Great Marquardt facing off against Chael Sonnen. Winner to get a shot at the UFC middleweight belt.
You ready? Let's fight!
And here we go.
And Chael Sonnen immediately taking it to Nate Marquardt, trying to put the pace on him, trying to get him down to the ground.
White trunks, solid white trunks for Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen, Olympic team alternate, NCAA All-American wrestler, outstanding grappler.
Scrappy Greco-Roman fighter, very well-rounded. He thinks he's got the ability to dig just a little bit deeper than Nate Marquardt.
Well, very mentally tough. You know, talked about that in the pre-fight. Again, his #1 problem in his career has been dealing with submissions. And the takedown, and a guillotine.
Nate Marquardt.
He's doing it perfect, too. He's got arm in, and he's high on the neck. What he wants to do, Mike, if he wants to try to finish him, is that right there. Get tight on the neck right there. Oh! He lost it, and now he's got Chael on top of him. Chael got through the hard part there.
Right in front of Matt Lindland in the corner of Chael Sonnen.
And Chael Sonnen will beat guys up in their guard.
Sonnen, the winner of 9 of his last 11 fights, including that fight, which ended up not being a title fight, Joe, that you talked about in the WEC against Paulo Filo.
And one thing we don't see too often from Nate is Nate on his back. We don't really see him that often in this position, so we don't really know how he attacks with arm bars and triangles and what have you from here. But Chael Sonnen, we've seen him many times in this spot. He has beaten Nate
Vicious
Marquat up.
elbows. He got out of the choke, and he's showing some serious ground and pound.
And his posture and his strength as a grappler, he can really beat guys up in this spot in a way that they're not used to. They're not used to getting controlled and manhandled like this.
Two-time NCAA National Wrestling Champion, NCAA All-American, as Joe mentioned, an alternate on the U.S. Olympic team.
Yushin Okami called his last loss humiliating to Chael Sonnen, and he was very frank about it. He said, I was completely and totally dominated. I have to revamp my training now. I have to rethink about my training partners, all because of what Chael Sonnen did to him. Before that fight, most people thought of Yushin as the dark horse in the 185-pound division.
And you're talking about a big, strong middleweight Yushin Okami.
And a big, strong grappler. Nate Marquat back to his feet, though. Flying knee! Chael ate it, takes him down to the ground for a little bit more of the same.
Yep, and he's bloodied up Nate Marquat already. At least it would appear.
There's some blood. It's tough to see where it's coming from.
This is that grinding wrestler thing going on right now.
We said it many, many times.
Yeah.
There is no better base for entering into mixed martial arts than the highly successful competitor as a wrestler. The competitive wrestlers, the highly successful amateur wrestlers, have such tremendous mental toughness. If you can just get through the room, the wrestling room practices at like really high-level universities, NCAA Division I teams, those guys are savages. There's the stuff they go through, just the overtraining, just the mental toughness that you have to develop.
You know, this game has grown and matured so much over the years, but still, when you look up and down the top 10 lists in all the divisions in the UFC, it's still dominated by wrestlers.
You know, there's guys like Anderson Silva, and there's guys like BJ Penn and George St. Pierre. Well, George St. Pierre became a wrestler after he became a mixed martial artist, but just so many guys, from Randy Couture on down, so many guys. Another sharp elbow.
I mean, this is a great start, maybe even better than Chael Sonnen could even have imagined to this fight.
Well, Chael Sonnen is, you know, he's the worst guy in the world to have on top of you because he just keeps going with this. He doesn't take any breaks. He's constantly wailing on you. Now, what we're seeing out of Nate Marquat here is a good defensive guard, but we're not seeing him attack. We saw him attack with that guillotine, but basically he's just trying to protect himself. And the reason why is because Chael doesn't let you breathe. He's constantly beating you up with these elbows.
Well, he's got cardio forever. Dominant first 5 minutes for Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen says a lot of funny stuff in his interviews, man. He says, you'll never see him in my guard. I'm a Republican. I don't lay on my back with a man between my legs. I mean, I'm a big fan of the guard, but that's funny as hell.
He hasn't gained any fans in the state of Ohio recently either. Talking about Mark the Hammer Coleman, Randy Couture. He trained with Randy for years.
I think a lot of this stuff that he says, he's just saying for
talking
a fact.
his way right to the top.
Well, he's talking his way into people's minds, you know? I mean, he's an intelligent guy. The more trash you talk, the more people love you or hate you, as long as they're talking about you.
Hey, he's a realtor and an elected public official. That takes the ability to talk.
Recruited, by the way, by the Republican Party, who recognize that he's an excellent speaker. Let's listen to Matt Lindland
Just
here.
do what you're doing. You're going first.
Potty mouth, Matt Lindland.
Pressure, keep those hips covered. Every time you lift that chin, you're doing great. Push the face away. As long as he's flat on his back, he has not got any attacks. Do you feel anything in that? Just keep doing what you're doing.
Let's take a look at Chael Sonnen here with some ruthless ground and pound grindage. There's some short elbows there, staying on top of him. And it's again, Nate Marquat. We never see him on his back. This is not a position where he's in all the time. He's controlling the posture a little bit, but not enough to stop these elbows. The kind of guy that's going to be dangerous is the kind of guy that's a killer off his back.
Looks pretty similar to what we saw in round one. Except he doesn't have to fight his way out of the choke this time.
Yeah. Nate Marquardt needs to attack off of his back. He needs to attack with triangles. He needs to attack with arm bars. He needs to do something. But just hanging on here is gonna lose him this fight. And letting Chael Sonnen do this to him, take him down every time, is gonna have him lose this fight. Chael Sonnen is a superior wrestler. Nate has to figure out how to deal with that, how to deal with fighting off of his back. Nate was looking for Kimura right here. Here we go.
Seven-time
Chael trying to turn that corner, trying to get on top of him.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Nate the Great. And as you said, this is an area that has haunted Chael Sonnen in his career.
Yes, and Nate Marquardt is brutally strong. If he gets a hold of your arm, if he could pop that arm out and up towards the shoulder of of Chael Sonnen, he can put Chael in some deep trouble. Chael's almost out here, and he is out. And that was an intelligent move by Nate Marquardt to let it go in that spot. Because if not, Chael was very close to passing. And now we see Marquardt is.
I mean, this is imposing his will. This is what we call imposing your will.
Imposing his skill set. You know, I mean, this is his spot. He's a wrestler. Wrestlers want to put you on their back. They want to put you on your back and they want to beat you up, and that's exactly what Chael Sonnen's doing.
Marquardt trying to get back up.
He knows he's in a desperation mode here. You know, he knows he's got to do something. You know, and this is you know, there's a lot of jiu-jitsu guys that just aren't really that good off their back. And you can't be just good off your back with a guy like Chael Sonnen. You got to be a murderer.
Oh, there's bloodied up.
I think that's coming from Chael Sonnen. I think Chael's nose is bleeding or something. I think he's bleeding on Nate Marquardt.
Yeah, he's opened up, Joe.
Oh!
What a big shot. Yeah, it's gushing out.
That's from the bottom.
Yeah.
Nate Marquardt opened him up with an elbow.
Yep. Trying to throw those elbows.
Wow,
and
it's bloody as hell. And he's beating up Nate Marquardt, but that one hurt him. Nate Marquardt going for a leg.
Sonnen is opened up by an elbow.
Wow, he is spraying all over Nate Marquardt's back.
2:05 remains.
Maybe he can leak some of that blood on his leg to make it slippery. All right, now he's out. He's on top of the back of Nate Marquardt. Wow, he is bleeding like a stuck pig here. And he's looking to take the back of Nate Marquardt.
He's still working right through it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
well, this is where that mental toughness comes in. And this is going to turn into a hot oil wrestling match because of all this blood.
Good elbows by Nate Marquardt.
These are very ineffective strikes from the top by Chael Sonnen.
90 seconds remains in round two. Nate takes a look up at the clock. 1:10 remains in the second round.
Chael Sonnen holding on to the arm here. Just staying on top, holding the position.
He still has control, Joe.
Yes, he does. It's going to be interesting to see how bad that cut is, though, Mike. We haven't even got a look at it because his face has been buried on Nate's back. And Nate spins around.
Now.
And that's where that's where the slippery helps Nate Marquardt. But look at this. Chael Sonnen immediately takes him down the ground. Complete dominance as far as wrestling goes by Chael Sonnen. You know, and when Nate Marquardt said in the pre-fight, I think everything he does, I do better, he was definitely wrong about wrestling.
Absolutely.
You know, until guys fight a guy like Chael Sonnen, until you fight a high-level wrestler, you don't realize it.
Well, Sonnen guaranteed that he would come out aggressively, and he's done exactly that. And so far, it's paid off. Second round comes to conclusion.
Huge second round. Huge for Chael Sonnen.
You are
like,
this guy up.
whoa.
This is the best I've ever seen you in my life, ever. You are killing this guy. Just keep doing this shit. You go first, put those punches in his face. You're feeling a little tired, it's okay. It's okay,
Nasty.
brother. Take a sip.
That's pretty incredible that Nate Marquardt did that from his
Want
back.
another drink? Want another drink? Okay. It's a little cut on over the eye. It's way up in the forehead. You're fine. Just get on top of him. Bury your head.
Let's take
in
a
his
look at
fucking
what
body.
caused that cut. And here you see Nate Marquardt with a very sharp elbow right from the bottom. Let's see it again here. Saw the opening, and look how he slices across. That he's trying to cut him there. And there's an elbow from the back. Kenny Florian would be proud of that elbow.
Absolutely. Third and final round. A move to the top of the middleweight ladder is on the line.
And look at this, Nate trying to take Chael down. And Nate is visibly weary, Mike. And that's
Sonnen
from
has
having
just
this
put on such an
wrestler.
incredible pace.
Yeah, this is really worst case scenario. Test your guard 101. What do you do when a world-class wrestler gets you on your back? You better have some answers, because if you don't, you're gonna eat elbow sandwiches. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Chael Sonnen can do this to a lot of folks, okay? There's a lot of dudes in the middleweight division right now that are watching this fight going, what am I gonna do to this?
Yep. 25 career wins for Sonnen, 32 for Nate Marquardt.
I mean, this is basically, Chael Sonnen's picked up with the momentum that he got off of the Yushin Okami fight, and he's run with it.
Fingers out of the fence.
And as Matt Lindland said in the corner with Les Swears, this is the best version of Chael Sonnen we've ever seen. And it's coming off the next best version of Chael Sonnen we've ever seen. He's putting it together.
We've not seen Nate Marquardt controlled like this in a long time.
No, he's getting beat up. I mean, he's never been dominated like this. Even when he fought Anderson Silva, it was a fairly competitive fight until Anderson hit that switch, turned him on his back, and then put him away. But he has never fought a wrestler like this.
Even in the loss to Talis Latis, it was because of the penalty points that were deducted.
Right. And again, never fought a wrestler.
Yep.
You know, you can't emphasize it enough. It's such a dominant skill to have, the ability to dictate where the fights take place. Look at this.
3 minutes remains in the fight, Joe.
He's on top, he's maintaining that top position. Some manhandling here. This is a beatdown.
And Marquardt trains with some pretty good wrestlers when he goes and he works with guys like Rashad Evans or George St. Pierre.
Yeah, he does, but there's a big difference between training and fighting, you know, and it really comes out in a fight. And when it really comes out in a fight is there are guys trying to cut you up, smash you, never let you breathe, and we really find out what your guard's all about. You know, and Nate Marquardt, you know, if he loses this fight, guarantee you that's what he's going to work on. Going to work on trying to submit guys off his back. Start hanging out with Shinya Aoki. Come learn some rubber guard. You know, watch Minotauro's fights. Just he's gotta do something to deal with this position. And a guy like Chael Sonnen can just do this all day long. And look at Nate, looks so weary.
And Sonnen looks as fresh as he did at the beginning of the
Nate
fight.
back to his feet.
And they're up. Just under 2 minutes remains.
Oh, Nate caught him with a knee there, but Chael pressing forward. And Nate again, going for a guillotine. He's straining.
Can he get the finish here?
It's deep. It's deep.
Is he going to get out? Chael Sonnen trying to survive.
He's got to hold the hand though, Mike.
He's out. Wow! How crazy is that?
That was do or die for Nate Marquardt right there. He's trying to attack. Unfortunately, his weapons off his back are very limited.
That was his shot, Joe.
Well, that was our shot. We still got a minute to go.
Go to the swords.
That's the beautiful thing about MMA, you never know. And Nate's trying to get to his feet. And he rolls him over. Nate's on top. Oh!
55 seconds.
Wouldn't knees on the ground be nice right here? Oh, I know, he's thinking about it.
Smart move.
And that right there is the argument for knees on the ground, folks.
I'll tell you what, that's also an exhausted Nate Marquat. Not only from the pace of Chael Sonnen, but also from trying to finish that choke a second ago.
Also, Chael Sonnen's got to be really aware of this. You know, you don't want to leave this in the judge's hands. We've seen crazy decisions before. When the guy's on top of you at the end of the fight, weird things happen. People forget about the other 4 minutes.
How about the other 14 minutes?
Chael's got to explode.
10 seconds remains.
Oh, Nate Marquat landed some big shots there.
Final seconds of the fight.
The guard, I thought he's a Republican. I thought he hates this. Awesome, awesome fight.
What a battle. They go the distance.
Nate Marquat had some of the best success in the fight in the last minute. Had a real tight guillotine, managed to reverse him, landed some good ground and pound, opened up a cut on his nose.
Get him some water. Water.
Very, very tough fight.
Joe, take a look at our fight replay.
And here is that super tight guillotine. And look at the face of Chael Sonnen. I mean, he's in agony right here. But that mental toughness comes into play. And notice he has the hand on the wrist, pulling that other hand underneath his chin away. Pops it out, gets his head out, and then gets reversed by Nate Marquat. And here's some ground and pound at the end by Nate Marquat. I think Nate Marquat stole that round, Mike.
If he did, though, is it enough? Because you talked about the dominant performance early of Sonnen.
I wouldn't think so. I would think the first 2 rounds go to Sonnen, but we've seen crazier.
Yes, we have. Who has positioned themselves for a shot at the title? Is it Nate Marquat or Chael Sonnen?
Team Quest, baby. Team Quest.
Bruce Buffer has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score this contest 30-27, 30-27, and 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Chael Sonnen!
Congratulations goes to Chael Sonnen. He will visit with Joe.
All right, I'm here with Chael Sonnen. Tremendous, tremendous fight, Chael. Amazing performance. First of all, you dominated him with the wrestling. You got him on his back, but the last minute of that fight had to be kind of hairy for you.
Oh, it was horrible. He hurt me early on, even when I was on top. I was hurt from the first round. I just had to hang in there.
Was it, there was an elbow that hit you, I believe, somewhere in the second round, the one that cut you. Was that the one that hurt you?
That was the one. I was scared that was going to stop the fight.
Now, in the last round, he had caught you with a guillotine. How tight was that?
Very tight. I was hanging in there. I was even counting the seconds down in my head, hoping he'd let go.
Now, in the last 2 fights, we've really seen you reach your full potential. The Yushin Okami fight and this fight, really just outstanding performances. You've got to be happy with your position right now in the middleweight division.
Yeah, you know, I don't want to be an also-ran. I'm here to be the king of the mountain, or I'll move on in life and do something else. I think I can beat any man God ever made.
Well, tremendous performance tonight. I think you opened up a lot of eyes. Congratulations. Look forward to seeing you again. Chael Sonnen, ladies and gentlemen.
Congratulations goes to Chael Sonnen. They battled to the very end. Joe with Nate.
All right, I'm here with Nate the Great Marquat. Nate, very tough fight. You dealt with a really high-level wrestler that kept you on your back. Give us your thoughts on the fight and what was going through your mind those first 2 rounds when you couldn't get him off you.
You know, I think I just executed my game plan the wrong way, and damn, I'm really sorry to all my fans and my teammates and stuff. Jeez, I really don't think I should have lost that fight. I felt good, and I think I kind of let him take control with the takedowns, and that was the key.
What was the game plan coming in here tonight? You knew what his game plan was to put you on your back. What did you want to do?
I wanted to use a little more footwork, and instead I got caught trying to slug with him, and that's where he found his opening to shoot. But
Now, in the last round, I saw when you had him on the back, you thought about kneeing him in the head. How nice would it be to have knees on the ground at that point?
oh yeah, that was kind of a joke because there was nothing I could really do, but I could have kneed the head if it was legal. But man, I'll be back. I still want that title. I still feel I can get it, and I feel I'm the man to do it. Chael's a tough guy, but it's a setback, but I'll be back.
Well, it's a learning experience. The last minute of the fight, you turned it around. You looked like you were on the way, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, next time hopefully it's 5 rounds.
Well, excellent fight. Nate, the great Marquat, ladies and gentlemen.